So I thought it'd be quite hard to see in the darker colour when I watch the videos back. So I've just done a little bit in cream, and I'm going to just show you again everything in cream. Basically, this is our chain. It's just that little bit easier to see. Can you see there's sort of the V stitches? So that is one stitch each. There is a right and a wrong side. So there's, yeah, you can see the V's on this side. It looks a little bit more like a plait almost, or even a bit of rope. So you want to make sure just at the first row we're working into this bit. So the pattern says, depending on which side you're going for, say, I can't quite remember, but yeah, you've changed your around 60 chains, and then we're working into the third stitch. So we've got 1 there, 2, 3. So we're going into there and we're going front to back. We're doing a double crochet, so in, through 2, yarn around, in, through 2. So you go in into the stitch, into the stitch, yarn around, through 2. So I'll just get to the end of doing that. So in, yarn around, through 2. So you're going to do that all the way to the end. I thought at least if I do just a few stitches, you won't be sat here waiting for forever, but I'm pretty slow, so you will be anyway. But it's not a race. It's just the most important thing is that you enjoy doing it. God, I really struggle seeing it through the camera. Right, there we go. So this might show you a little bit better. I've got 1, 2 stitches left, and that is our slip knot. So we ignore that, and you're literally going to go right to the end. So into that one, then into the last one. And it should look a little something like that. Now for this, all we're going to do is you literally turn it over, and it then says chain 2. So chain is what we did right at the start. So a chain is where you go around and through, and it's really good because you can sort of see 1, 2 there. If you're not sure and aren't sure which stitches are which, just count down from your hook, 1, 2, and we're working across these here. So these are our stitches. But now this is the rest of the pattern now. So instead of going into what looks like a whole stitch there, we're actually just going into the back of it. And we're going to do double crochet, so through 2. And that's what's written as BLO, which is back loop only. So we're not going through the 2, we're just going through the back. And you're going to do that right to the end. And this is every row of the pattern now. So all you're doing is this row, and you'll do that right until you've got like the set amount. I think for my size, it's 56 centimetres. So I'm just going to do this row over and over again until I've got 56 centimetres. So if I just show you, so into the back, and then this is my final stitch here. So into the back, there we go. And then all you do is, don't worry if your edges don't look too neat. I'll show you in a second what they're going to look like. All you do is turn it, and you're going to do the same again. So chain 1, 2, go into your first stitch. So ignore the 2 chain and go in there. And you're going to go through the back loop only again, right to the end. I'll finish this row, then I'll show you something. But yeah, it's nice because it's just one row over and over again. You're going to end up with a square, and because it's quite a nice big chunky yarn, it's very forgiving. So it should, even if you've never crocheted before, it's going to look quite neat anyway. And the good thing with crochet is if you go wrong, it's dead easy to correct. So we're going into the last stitch, which is, can you see that that's a V there? So we're going into the back. There we go. And then turn, and this is where you chain 2 to carry on. So if I just show you that, so it's going to look, don't worry, the edges don't look that neat. But if I show you on this one, can you see that they're sort of almost concertinaed anyway? And because it's quite stretchy, it all evens up quite nicely. But the main thing is, if you think you've gone wrong with crochet, I know some of you knitters struggle, this is why I find knitting online a lot harder, because it's harder to undo and correct. With crochet, all you do is you take it out and you pull it back until where you think you've gone wrong, and then you can just pull that loop, pop it back on your hook, and carry on. So there's only one, you know, it doesn't matter how much you do, it will just, as long as you can get it back to a point where you think you were right, have that and pop it on your hook. But again, any questions, aren't sure, post a picture, send me a picture, whatever suits. There we go. Fab.